We often imagine the workplace as a purely practical arena, a space where efficiency, profit, and productivity dominate. Yet through the eye of an existentialist, the working environment becomes something far more profound, and far more troubling. It is not just a desk, a chair, and a paycheck. It is a stage where human beings wrestle with freedom, absurdity, and the search for authenticity. Freedom over efficiency. The modern office thrives on speed, metrics, and control. But existentialism reminds us that freedom is the essence of human existence. A workplace that only values efficiency risks reducing individuals into replaceable machines. When workers are granted autonomy, however, the freedom to choose how they structure tasks, to make decisions, to even err, they are not only more engaged but more human. In freedom lies responsibility, and in responsibility lies dignity. The demand for authenticity. Corporate culture often forces masks upon us. The smiling facade at meetings, the scripted, team spirit, the suppression of doubt or disagreement. Sartre would call this bad faith, the denial of our own freedom by pretending to be what we are not. An existential workplace, by contrast, is one where authenticity is valued over pretense. Here, honesty is not weakness but strength, and the worker is not reduced to a role but recognized as a person. Confronting the absurd. Every office has its rituals of absurdity. Reports no one reads, meetings without purpose, targets detached from reality. Camus would say, yes, it is absurd, but acknowledge it openly. Pretending that everything carries ultimate meaning is self-deception. Instead, one can meet the absurd with lucid acceptance and even humor. Just as Sisyphus, condemned to push his boulder, finds defiance in his smile, workers too can find resilience when they accept the absurdity of certain routines without surrendering their humanity. Purpose beyond productivity. Existence, for the existentialist, is not defined by output but by meaning. A workplace that reduces people to profit margins alienates them from themselves. Yet when a company encourages projects that serve creativity, community, or personal growth, work becomes more than survival, it becomes part of life's project. The existential workplace must therefore ask, are we producing only goods, or are we also cultivating lives worth living? The necessity of reflection. Silence is rare in the modern office. Every moment is filled with chatter, emails, tasks. Yet existentialism insists on reflection, on moments when one asks, why am I doing this? Does this align with who I wish to become? A humane working environment would create spaces of pause, where reflection is not wasted time but essential nourishment for authenticity. Equality of existence. In existential thought, no consciousness is more valuable than another. Translated into the workplace, this demands a flattening of unnecessary hierarchies. Each voice matters, not because of position or title, but because existence itself carries dignity. To ignore the perspective of a junior employee is, in a sense, to deny the truth that their being is as real and unrepeatable as anyone else's. Mortality as reminder. Finally, Heidegger reminds us, we are all beings toward death. If life is finite, then how tragic it is to spend it trapped in meaningless grind. A workplace shaped by this awareness would honor time as sacred. It would not consume the worker entirely but would leave them with energy and spirit to live fully outside the office walls. To work, then, would not be to postpone life, it would be to participate in it. The existential workplace is not about beanbags, free coffee, or colorful slogans. It is about creating an environment where people confront freedom, embrace authenticity, accept absurdity, and seek meaning beyond profit. In doing so, work ceases to be a cage of necessity and becomes a canvas of existence.